Welcome to yet another episode on the platform of Alphos e-learning. Today we discuss a beautiful poem given in Junior Intermediate English textbook. Here I am in front of you, Jose Madan Paul, lecturer in English, Alphos Educational Institutions. Welcome to this beautiful episode. Today we discuss the fourth poem in our Junior Intermediate English textbook. The poem titled Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, an outstanding poem by the 20th century, the most celebrated American poet of the 20th century, Robert Lee Frost, shortly called Robert Frost. My dear students, he was born in 1874 and died in the year 1963. He is one of the most celebrated poets of 20th century, an American poet. He is highly regarded as the best poet who brings realistic portrayal of rural life. The present poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, once again brings the realistic picture of the beauty of the forest side on a snowy evening. Dear my students, I hope you know about this poet. In your school days, you might have learned a wonderful poem of Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, which tells about the choices in life to be taken. As you know, students, Robert Frost's poems are all with profound moral messages about life. Profound moral messages about life. The present poem also gives you a deep moral message about life. Students, life is a journey from womb to tomb, from cradle to coffin. In this journey, we have a responsibility, we have duty, we have goals in life to be achieved. Many a time, we ignore our responsibilities, we ignore our goals of life and pause, forgetting our duty. This is very common in teenage. So my dear youngsters, this poem is very relevant at this stage of your life. Students, have you ever had an experience like stopping at a beautiful, mysterious place, a beautiful scenery, or a beautiful landscape, and then stopping yourself there for a long time, being enthralled by the beauty of that particular place? Did you ever discontinue your journey? It's quite often happening these days, because we are much attracted by the beauty of the place. We may even forget our duty and get stopped there. The present poem also brings a topic related to the same, stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Dear my students, Robert Lee Frost is very good at portraying the realistic life of rural people, the realistic picturization of rural life can be found in his poems. Here also, in this poem, we find the realistic picturization of beautiful forest spread on a snowy evening. Students, a winter season, a beautiful evening. Poet, the speaker in the poem, is on a horse ride. He is going on the back of his horse one winter evening. You know, students, in European countries, in winter season, by sunset, by evening, snowflakes fall. The falling white snowflakes cover the green leaves, cover the forests, even the grounds. Trees and ground are covered in the snow, turning everything to white color. The green leaves turn to white with the soft flakes falling on. Wow, a beautiful sight in the evenings. Here in this poem, we come across such an evening, students. One winter evening, the poet, our speaker, is going on his horseback. As he is going on his horseback, whose woods are these? Whose woods are these? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here. Yes, speaker, the poet, stops his horse there for a while, looks around the beautiful forest. Whose woods are these? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snowflakes. To watch these woods fill up with snowflakes. This is how the poem begins. In a beautiful evening, poet steps out on some duty, on some responsibility. He moves on the back of his horse. And he passes through a forest which is covered with snow. He is on his horseback, attracted by the beauty of the forest, attracted by the beauty of the woods. He stopped there, looked around. Soft white snow flakes falling down, the flakes covering the leaves. Then they drop on to the ground. Even the ground is completely covered in the white snowflakes. Just imagine the beauty of the forest when the flakes fall, children. At least you might have seen such scenes, such landscapes, beauty in drawings or in films. Here the poet comes across such an ideal snowy evening. My little horse must think it queer, must think it strange to stop without a farmhouse nearby. What is this? All of a sudden, when master stopped the horse got a doubt. It began thinking, why does my master stop me here? It is strange. See, in between the woods and the frozen lake, why am I stopped? The horse for a while looked around, turning its head. There wasn't any farmhouse nearby. Generally, when there is a farmhouse, masters stop their horse. Why, you know, students? Yes, to give it the fodder, water, as well the master may take rest too. But here nearby, I don't see any farmhouse. In between the farmhouse and the frozen lake, in between this forest and the frozen lake, why am I stopped? Normally, my master does not stop me here. There is something strange, queer, strange to stop me here without a farmhouse nearby. There is no farmhouse nearby. And it is the darkest evening of the year. It is the darkest evening of the year. Yes, even the horse was completely puzzled why it is stopped here. It does not understand. See here, the poet tells, he started thinking. Students, do you expect a horse to think? Do you expect a horse to think? Yes. Here, horse is considered to be one of the important identities, elements in the nature. At the end of the poem, I shall try to bring it clearer to your mind. But before that, okay. Here, the poet was trying to tell that the horse has been a bit strange. It felt a bit strange that the master was not at all minding the situation. The master did not find any farmhouse there. Then why did he stop? It was strange to stop in between the forest and the frozen lake. So immediately the horse thoughtfully gives his harness bells a shake. Harness bell. Students, do you know what is harness bell? The bells that are attached to the strip of leather that is tied around the neck of an animal. Generally, we find these kinds of harness bells are tied around bulls in our region. In foreign countries, wherever there are horse and horse wagons, we find it is tied around, the leather strap is tied around its neck, and the bells, metal bells that are bronze bells that are attached, they make sounds. So here the horse gives its harness bells a shake, shaking its neck. Then the bells ring. It was the way by the horse to make the master think that you have stopped at a wrong place. This is a reminder to the master. Masterji, you have stopped at the wrong place. Is it by mistake? Is there any mistake? This was the question raised. How did the horse raise this question? By giving a harness bells a shake. By giving its harness bells a shake. This is how horse reacts to the situation. Only the sounds of these harness bells was heard in the air, except the only other sound was the sweeping of the cool wind and the downy flake. Students, can't you get the situation? Can't you imagine the surroundings? Yes, the silent ambience, the silent atmosphere. Only the sounds of the bells. Calm and cool atmosphere. The sounds of the sweeping of easy wind. Yes, when the flakes fall, snowy flakes fall, there is little cool breeze flowing. One can hear only the sweeping of the easy wind and the silent sound of the downy flakes falling down. Other than these, no sounds are heard. Children, this is a calm, snowy evening. A calm, snowy evening. Poet, being enchanted by, captivated by the beauty of the forest, the woods lying in covered, soft, white, snowy flakes, and beside the snowy, frozen lake covered in the white flakes. What an attractive landscape. Can't you imagine, children? What an attractive landscape. Unimaginable beauty of the nature being exposed to the eyes of the poet. Being attracted by the beauty, he stands there gazing at the beauty of the woods, the beauty of the lake. He forgets everything. For a while, he forgets everything. Students, sometimes it happens in our life also. It happens in our life also. We forget our responsibilities. We forget our duty. We forget our goals in life and get stopped sometimes. Instead of continuing on the path of duty, being attracted by momentary happiness, beauty of the nature, we stop ourselves. And when we stop ourselves, being attracted by the nature, the beauty, what happens? We forget our duty. We forget our duty. We forget our responsibilities. We forget our goals in life. Students, have you ever been stopped by the enchanting things in life? It may not be merely, as the poet symbolically presents here, the beauty of the woods. It may be something else in your life that stops you, that distracts you, that makes you pause, that makes you forget your duty. There are many things today, teenagers, especially youth, are being attracted by, deviating from their track, deviating from their responsibilities. Someone like the horse would remind you, Master, have you stopped here by mistake? Yes, students, practically speaking, it happens in our life. We are much disturbed by the beauties of life. Many things distract our way. Many things make us divert from the track of our life, from the goal of our life, from the very, very duty that we have in our life. Yes, as I told you, it's a journey. Life is a journey to achieve what we target, what we aim at. But on the way, we are stopped. On the way, we are distracted. But every time there will be someone like this animal, like this horse, to remind us, Master, have you stopped at the wrong place? Is it a mistake? Maybe your teachers, your parents, your elders, your relatives, your brothers, your sisters, someone would do the duty of the horse here. You are in the wrong track. You have deviated from your track. Come on, come back to the right track. Go ahead, go ahead. Yes, an inner call comes to you. But we are ever captivated by this momentary, temporary pleasures, beauty, and attractions, temporary enjoyments, which check you from achieving your real goal in life. My dear students, let me complete this short poem. We have 4 stanzas. I have completed 3 stanzas. Now I come to the most important stanza of this poem. The often quoted stanza, students. These lines should always echo in your mind, reverberate in your life to achieve your target in your life. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Students, look at the often quoted lines written here. And miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. The line is repeated here by the poet. I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Students, the most interesting lines of this poem, often quoted by great people in their speech, in their motivation towards the youth. Let us very well understand these lines. Practically speaking, this is a deep message you have from this poem. I have promises to keep. Look at the mirror, look at your reflection and tell the same. My dear students, I have promises to keep. Yes, our birth itself is a promise to the Almighty that I shall achieve the responsibility that you have entrusted on me. Every human being on this earth is born with a responsibility. He is born with a duty. He is born with a goal in life. If not, our life itself is meaningless. Everyone has a responsibility. When we are born human beings, we have certain targets in life, certain ambitions in life, certain goals in life, certain duties in life. Unless we do those duties, our life is a meaningless life, worse than that of animals. Students, let these lines ever reverberate in you, echo in you, resound in you. I have promises to keep. Every time you divert from the track of your duty, every time you get diverted from the track of your responsibility, let you be reminded, I have promises to keep. I have my goal to achieve. I have my responsibilities to be done. I have my duty to be fulfilled. Just like the horse, someone would be there beside you, behind you, to remind you, son, daughter, brother, sister, you are in the wrong track. Come on, come back to your track. Think of your responsibility, think of your duty, and take the right track. Don't be stopped by the attracting things of this world that will spoil your life, that will never help you to achieve your goal in life. Students, remember these lines if you can, lifelong. I have promises to keep. and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Every moment you must think of this to achieve your goal. You have to still go ahead, still go ahead. Yes, I have to achieve my goal. I have miles to go still. Before I take rest, sleep here refers to taking rest. Before I take rest, I have miles to go and miles to go. See children, the repetition of the lines. What is the importance of the repetition of these lines? You know, miles to go, reminding each and every one of you the importance of duty. Students, in this poem we find a fight, a conflict between sense of beauty and sense of duty. Sense of beauty stopping you, sense of duty calling you. Do you respond to the sense of duty, or do you stop by the sense of beauty? Here is a conflict in you. In every youngster, there is a conflict. Sense of beauty on one side, sense of duty on another side. Whose voice do you hear? To whom do you respond? Students, keep your sense of beauty aside. Listen to the sense of duty and continue. Don't be stopped by the attractive things, temporary attractions of life, which will spoil your target, your duty, your goal in life. Students, please remember this. Don't be stopped by beauty. Go on with your duty. Try to find beauty in your duty. That's better. Find beauty in your duty. When you do your duty, you find beauty in it. And that beauty in deeds, not in words. The poet here found beauty in woods, in forest. Let us find beauty in our duty. Let us find beauty in our deeds, so that we will be able to achieve our goal. We will be able to achieve our target in life. Be duty bound, not beauty bound. If you are beauty bound, you won't achieve your duty and you will fail in your life, and your life will be an utter failure. If you want your life to be a success, respond to the call of duty and ignore the attractions of beauty. Students, yet another beautiful thing about this poem is we find a triangular relation here. Here, man. One side, nature. The third side, animal. We find a good relation among these three. Man and nature. Here, woods stands for nature. Poet, the speaker, stands for man, and the horse stands for animal. Students, this relation in the nature is very well highlighted by Robert Frost. Horse, animal, supporting human being. Nature, supporting human being. Man, the relation between man, nature and animal. This triangular relation is very well defined through this poem. Okay, students, I hope the explanation is very clear to you. Please take note of these two lines, or at least the last one stanza. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. Please remember these lines, students, for your well-being, for your success in life, for achieving your target. Every time, let these lines remind you of your duty. Miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. I have promises to keep. Thank you. Thank you very much.